Well, it took a lot of takes, 3 days, and some microphone failures, but I present to you, fully finished, the TF2 Top 9 classes.
Gentlemen?
Alright, let's start off this list with number 9. The Sniper. The Sniper is, frankly, one of my least favorite classes in Team Fortress 2 overall. He's a good class to play as, but frankly, he lacks where all the other classes have built up. But let's start with his personality. Sniper is a very monotonic character. He is, well, a sniper. That's all he pretty much ever does, is snipe, and talk about how he hates spies. But that's all he really does. The Sniper is a bushman from Australia, and used to be a wildlife hunter, but lives in a van now, and is pretty boring. He compares to all the other characters. He sticks out like a sore thumb, because he is very mild-mannered, he's very polite, but frankly, kind of boring. He doesn't interact with any of the other characters, and he doesn't set himself apart from many of them. So that's why Sniper is number 9 in personality. But gameplay-wise, it's pretty much the same thing. Sniper, you just sit there all day. I mean, he doesn't really do much to help the team in terms of, if it's a good team, he wins, and if he's a bad team, he loses. Sniper's pretty much all about camping and headshots, and that's how mostly I've seen people play him as. Now, no offense to the people who really like playing Sniper. I do like the character, I really do. But the thing with Sniper is, he's just so plain. I don't like a plain character in TF2. I really don't, because of all the characters you can have, of the raving lunatics like the Pyro or the Soldier, he doesn't stick out to me. He seems different. And so, the Sniper. Yeah, that's about all that can be said. Alright, here we go. Number 8. The Heavy. Now, the Heavy is it is a great character. Valve has put a lot of time and effort into this particular character, and I like him that way. He's a strong Russian man, and likes his minigun. Where he lacks in personality and bright-wise, he makes up for in his hilarious comedy. Frankly, he's like the funniest guy in TF2. He's become a symbol for the game, and I have no complaints with really his personality, except with what people do with him online. There's some weird videos out there, I'm not even going to get into it. But regardless, the Heavy is great in personality, and I like him that way. But the Heavy really never makes up for that in gameplay. When you play as Heavy, you're the target, you're the center of attention. Everyone is shooting at you. And as one of my fellow YouTubers explains it, he's a bullet sponge. He soaks up bullets. That's basically all he does. And the two only good things about playing as Heavy is, frankly, his minigun, which, let's face it, that thing is badass. Can tear apart any character within a range, and save for the Sniper and the Spy, nothing can really get close to him without killing him. However, though, he has a lot of weaknesses. Pyros, soldiers, basically anyone that can shoot him down range. Pretty much every single class can kill the Heavy. Now, the second thing that makes the Heavy good, as a good class, is the Medic. When the Medic and the Heavy go together as a team, it's like peanut butter and jelly. They work so well together, and this makes them extremely effective on the battlefield. They can take points, they can take flags, they can take down entire sentry nests. But if the Medic dies and the Heavy dies, you're pretty much screwed. If either one of them dies, the other character is screwed. So it's a good combo, but it lacks in vulnerability. It's a very vulnerable class to play as, and that's why Heavy's number 8. Sorry, guy. Sorry, big guy. Guess your sandwich didn't cut it this time. Alright, number 7. The Soldier. Now, the Soldier is my 7th favorite class in the TF2, frankly because this guy is a nut job. Some of the other classes I find a little more connected, but the soldier is just loose and arrogant, and it is funny as heck. The soldier is a rocket jumper from the US, and frankly, his backstory is pretty hilarious, so I'm going to tell you that first. Soldier wanted to get in every branch of the military, but failed miserably because he was a nutjob. I'm going to say he's a nutjob a lot, because he is. But Soldier failed to get in every branch of the military, so what did he do? 30 years after World War II, thinks it's still on, goes to Germany, Nazi killing spree. That's all he does. Like, wipes out 1,000 people easily, and well, here he is, TF2, sort of a mental hospital for him, let's say. But I just find that very, very interesting that Soldier, his personality relates so much to his backstory. And speaking of personality, like I said, Soldier is a nut job. No one really knows what goes on in the soldier's mind, but order itself. He thinks war is what's going on here. It's war, and patriotism. And that's all he ever really thinks about. Now, it can be kind of insulting at times, and that's why he's not higher on this list, but face it, it's funny when he quotes stuff. It is freaking funny. And gameplay-wise, Soldier is a very good, well-rounded class, but he doesn't stick out very well. He doesn't have anything that makes him a little good, save for rocket jumping. But the Soldier is a very nice class to play as if you're just starting out, because it's very simple. Rockets, shotgun, shovel, do what you will. It's a very customizable class. And frankly, a little nuts in the head. But I like him that way. Number 6. The Demo Man. The Demo Man, I find, is a difficult class to play for some people, and that's why it doesn't make it high on their lists. But I think the Demo Man is extremely well versed in gameplay. His pipe bombs can deliver indirect fire and can destroy sentries, can destroy players without even getting close to them. Difference being the sticky bomb launcher. Sticky bomb launcher can set traps and wait for people in close proximity to get near. And, well, as the Dome Man says, kaboom. Well, the Dome Man is a bomb-toting De Groot from the Scottish Highlands, and in excluding his vast range of Demo Knight melee weapons, which I won't be going into right now, the Dome Man has some unique weapons for his class, and he can use particular strategies to take down enemies very precisely in some cases, with the case of Lock and Load or the Scottish Resistance. But the Dome Man's gameplay is all about expecting your enemy to do something and then adjusting. So Dome Man is great for unsuspecting targets, because I guarantee you someone's going to do something stupid and they're going to blow up. Now, as for the Dome Man's personality, he is a drunk, extremely arrogant, and, frankly, kind of sad. As his backstory goes, his parents both died at a young age, and he was left to fend for himself. And here he is now. And, frankly, he's done himself pretty well, I'll say. Most characters make fun of the Dome Man for his eye patch. I think it just looks cool. I mean, seriously, look at that smug look on his face. Yeah, that's pretty badass. So, the Dome Man. Freedom! What's one reason I love the medic? I'll give you a hint. He has a bone saw, has Ubers, and is completely psychotic. This doctor is not here to heal people. He is here to murder. And frankly, it is just great, because this doctor, he's not a doctor of medicine, he's a mad scientist. And frankly, when in the medic's time, the Hippocratic Oath was more of a Hippocratic suggestion. So, Medic took that into account, and, well, as you see in Meet the Medic video, he's extremely gruesome with his practices, but extremely effective. The Medic, in personality-wise, is extremely, extremely crazy. Possibly more crazy than any other class in the game, save for the Pyro or maybe the Soldier even. But he's this intelligent kind of crazy, which I just admire so much about him. And frankly, his tools of the trade aren't half bad either. The Medic has his Medigun, which he can heal people across the battlefield, and this makes him so very, very, very important to the team. He can heal people up, he can deliver Ubers, heck, he can even use weapons like the Uber Saw to gain faster charge. So the Medic is all around very versatile, but there are a few complaints I have about him. Well, first off, the Medic, he's the center of attention, save for the Heavy. Him plus the Heavy, it equals a giant target, because everyone knows the Medic is one of the easiest classes to kill in the game, because he's also the most expendable, he's also the most useful. It's kind of weird, but Medic can be targeted by any class in the game and pretty much killed effectively. Which is really sad for the Medic, because I want to get better at him, but this limitation is not allowing me to do that. I guess the Medic would be higher on my list if he had a little more to it. I mean, frankly, add a little more resistance bonuses to like fire and stuff, or blast, explosions and stuff, and you could get a really powerful character here. Heck, even more powerful than the Pyro. And that's the truth. For those of you who have seen me play on TF2, I love the Engineer. He's great. I mean, frankly, his buildings help the team so much. He is one of the most useful characters in the game. And, save for the Medic, I can't really argue against him. He's just this great class. He builds sentries to destroy people. He builds dispensers to heal them when a Medic's not around. He can be every single class in the game if he wants to. Well, maybe not the Pyro, but every other class, he could do it. Heck, no other class in the game can build a teleporter. But the NG does have a few problems. Namely one, it's in his personality. The NG is very mild-mannered. And I mean extremely mild-mannered. He is one of the most polite, conversational guys in the game. And you can't really go wrong with him. Which I kind of have a problem with. I mean, the Engineer's personality, it needs a little less of something. I mean, it needs a downside. He's just always so go-happy. And that's really weird, because for a guy who builds machines and murders people, he should be a little happier with the blood splatters on the ground. Possibly even like the Soldier or the Demo. But that's just my opinion. However, the NG does have a lot of advantages, and that mostly makes up for that. But that's in his gameplay. NG, if played correctly, can be a dominating class. He can be a turning point in any game. With whether it's building a sentry, building a teleporter, or a dispenser and upgrading them all. He can definitely defend the team a long, long time. And the NG, well, frankly, he's a badass Texan. He just doesn't give shit when you walk in front of a sentry. He just doesn't. Keep building, NG. You'll always have a special place as my first TF2 character, and I mean that. And now we come to the top 3. My top 3 favorite classes. And the first of these 3 is the Spy. Ah, God, I love this guy. He is just a complete snake. Living amongst the characters in the background, stabbing people. He is one of the most difficult classes to play as. But he is so rewarding. When you get a backstab, it is the greatest feeling in the world. And I mean that from experience. But the Spy, it's really difficult to get accustomed to the Spy. He has very limited weapons, very limited tools, but when played correctly, the Spy is epic. With his Invisilwatch and his stabs, he can take out pretty much any critical player in the team. Ubers, snipers, anything that's pesky and getting in your way. Plus, he's the only one who can sap sentries, and that makes him, against the engineer, a very, very, very high key factor in the game, and most people overlook that. Now, the spy personality, in fact, even dominates more than his gameplay. His personality is very suave, very gentlemanlike. It seems like he can't do anything wrong. I mean, but this guy, he's just so sneaky. Very, very, very sneaky. In fact, most of the team doesn't even trust him. His own team. Now, Meet the Spy was one of my favorite videos when it came out, and God, this guy, he's been one of my favorite classes to play, regardless of his flaws. And I can't really find much wrong with him, except for the fact that it's so hard to play as him. The most aggravating times I've found in TF2 are because of the spy. Miss a stab, miss a cloak, pyros, 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 pyros. Every time. It makes me so mad. But I rebound, I play as a spy more, and I get better. Better, and better, and better. And as you get better, you get a lot more rewarding feelings. And frankly, the spy, slippery bastard he is awesome. Goddamn. Gentlemen. The scout. You can't help but love this guy. His personality is so obnoxious and annoying, but it's so freaking funny. You find him in any game, and you just play as him just to hear his domination quotes. And, frankly, he makes all the other classes look bad just vocally. These comments, God, I would find them insulting, but the annoying bastard he is, you gotta love this guy. He makes up for everything in the game with his personality. Bonk, 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 bonk. Every time. I can't help but laugh when I'm around the scout. Even if he is a little annoying when he kills me. It's really, really, really funny. And, frankly, his overconfidence, his obnoxiousness, it just takes out all the other classes. I mean, you thought the heavy was funny? That's nothing. This guy is hilarious. But his gameplay is pretty rock solid too. That's why he's at number 2. Because going around batting people to death and shooting them with scattergun, it's really good. It's a really good break from all the other classes, all the other tenseness of the game. Beating people to death with a bat and shooting them in the back, it's really fun. Capturing the intelligence, everything. It's a nice break from all the other classes. So whenever I have some free time, I work on my scout. And frankly, it is really fun just to play as this guy. I mean, the annoying bastard he is, pounding people on the ground, doing taunt kills. It's what he lives for. And, God, I couldn't play this game without him. So he had to be number 2. Meet the Pyro. Oh my God. When this video came out, I laughed. I cried. I loved it. This guy was hilarious. I mean, it's more of the ironic twist. No one knows who the Pyro is. His personality is a mystery. Everything about him is a mystery. All we know is that he burns people epically, and he is one of the most OP classes in the game by some people's standards, but not my standards. And his class, well, let's start with his gameplay. His gameplay is basically going around torching people, yes, but his strategic weapons can make him a completely different player in the game. He can burn people with mini-crits with a phlegistinator. He can backburn people. He can use his degreaser to reflect rockets. He has endless possibilities. And people who say they can't kill a Pyro, I don't think they've tried hard enough. Because frankly, you must just not be that... The Pyro just must be very, very, very good at what he does. Except for those WM1 people, just ignore that. Regardless, the Pyro is insane. His personality, when you look at him, it's insane. Nobody knew who the Pyro was. It was just this random, creepy guy who burned people to death and thought it was funny. And it scared people. It literally made people fear him in the game. And when the Meet Pyro video came out, frankly, I loved it because of its irony. Most people said, well, what is this crap? He's in a rainbow universe? What the hell? Is he like 5 or something? And I'm like, well, this is just hilarious. I just laughed on the floor for I don't know how long. This guy was the ironic twist of the Pyro was so I found it so funny that this guy had to be #1, because the fact that he sees this in his head as glitter and rainbows, oh my god. You'd think like, oh my god, imagine how the people on the outside must feel. And the switching back and forth in the frames between him murdering people and then what he was actually doing or thinking in his head, it made me laugh continuously for days. And I watched that video over and over again just for the epicness of that video, regardless of the pretty princess parts. I mean, that's what makes the Pyro who he is. Nobody else knows. That's the funny part. No one knows who the Pyro is, except him, except us. We know. And I know that he's a badass, and he deserves this #1 spot. Ponies and princesses or not, this guy, in reality, burns people. And God, you gotta love his frame shots. I could stare at these pictures all day. Don't take that creepily, please don't. So that's why the Pyro is #1. Burn, baby, burn. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please give a like and a subscribe down below. Click up in the right hand corner to watch more of my videos. And if you didn't like this video, comment below on how I can make this video better. Alright, see you guys next time.